Hi everyone, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your spiritual guidance for the week of February 10th, 2020. I'm sorry I missed everyone last week, and I usually release these on Sunday, but I just have a lot going on right now, as I'm sure all of you do as well. So today I'm drawing from the Vintage Oracle deck by Virginia Mosley. I don't have the box with me, I left it over there, but it's kind of an interesting deck. It simultaneously annoys me and also kind of fascinates me, because she took all of these old greeting cards that she found in an antique shop in Paris and then created these cards out of them. So on one hand I'm like, she took someone's stuff. And then on the other hand I'm like, oh, that's cool, she took someone's stuff and reused it, refurbished it, created something cool and useful out of it. So depending upon my mood, that's how I feel about it. Alright, so February 10, 2020. And I am working on something special to offer all of my subscribers. I'm working on some meditation recordings, and I have a couple done. The delay is in the editing because I like to add a little bit of music and make it sound nice, and that's not my area of expertise, and I've been getting some help. But it's slow going. But I am working behind the scenes to get those out to everybody, and they will be free. They'll be here to listen to on the YouTube channel, and then I'll also have them on the on SoundCloud on the podcast is what I'm calling it, but it's really just a place where I put all my recordings. And there'll be links below for that. All of my YouTube videos are on the podcast in audio format. Okay, February 10th, 2020. Just connecting as I talk and chatter away here. Okay, here we go. Divine timing and trust under the deck. Wow. It's always a good message. It's so easy to get caught up in how to move the energy. How can I move the energy in the direction that my mind, my ego, wants it to go? And you certainly can do that, but it's hard work, and it's frustrating. It can be. And sometimes things, just no matter how hard you push, no matter what you do, they don't seem to work in the time that you want them to work in. They don't seem to manifest in your time schedule. This is divine timing. Something bigger than yourself is at play. Something that you can't even conceive of is in the works because it's for the best and highest good of all involved, not just you, which can be very frustrating to the mind, to the ego. So allow yourself this kind of period this week of knowing that you are being taken care of. Everything is being taken care of. And that things that you're wanting are in the works. They're just taking the time that they are going to take based on something that's outside of your control. So you might as well relax a little bit, have some faith, trust that everything's happening exactly as it's meant to. We also have healing under the deck, under that card. These are both under the deck. These are underlying energies. A lot of times we feel like we're being thwarted or we feel frustrated. But what's occurring is that we are being cared for, so that when we do have or manifest the things that we think that we want, we're able to hold them a little longer, perhaps. We're able to appreciate them more, or someone else's. Remember that it's not just about your experience. It's much more at play than we could ever realize with our conscious linear mind. So trust here. Know that all things are working out exactly as they're meant to. Take a breath. Distract yourself from the churning wheel of thought and judgment that things aren't happening in the right time for your personal needs, wants, or desires. There's a story being written here that's bigger and grander than the story that you could imagine. In fact, if you've ever written anything, whether it be an essay for school or a novel, you can't force, well, you can write just a bunch of junk, but when you're in flow, when you're open, when you allow the words to just kind of tumble out of your consciousness and drop onto the page, it can be brilliant because you're channeling, you're open. You're not just trying to fill up the page and get that C essay out so you can, have fun. This occurs. But sometimes when you're in flow and you're not trying so hard, you write a brilliant essay, perhaps, or a better than average one than you normally would. My youngest daughter's home for the weekend. She's a college student, so I'm thinking of essays. She has to write one. I will say, too, we see this femme fatale type woman, or just a woman, however you want to perceive her. And she's like, hi there, But also recognize, I'm really drawn to the clock behind her. This week, allow yourself to recognize where you're at chronologically. Are you still clinging to the past, trying to prove something, prove that you're younger than you are, or prove that you're more mature than you are? Allow yourself to be where you're at. Again, without trying to move the energy into, I'm a certain way, your persona of yourself. It's a lot of fatiguing energy when we're trying to either be younger or prove that we're older or more mature or more experienced. If you are someone who's inexperienced at something, this week it's not the time to fake it till you make it. This week it's the time to own. I'm gaining experience with that, but I haven't completed the training. Or don't try to fake it. Don't try to pretend this week. Out of trying to push the energy, trying to move things along faster. Don't pretend you're more skilled than you are. Don't pretend you're, in this case, more younger than you are. If you're trying to, date, own who you are right here and right now. Or I would even say differently, own where you're at, not so much who you are. You're always going to be somewhere. But if you're always wishing that you were somewhere other than where you're at, you're missing the moment to enjoy what you have in the moment. And then you just tend to manifest more instances where you're wishing you weren't in that place. So that's kind of interesting the way that's coming in here. Let me look at this trust card. Yeah, and we see here, I'm really drawn to the goddess Diana, or I think it's Athena, in the Greek. She's just sitting there, she's waiting, knowing that whatever creature that is, deer-like creature, will take her when the time is right, but she's in no hurry. She's one with nature. Trust that all things are happening exactly as they are. You're not going to try and force the trees to bloom faster, or force the fall leaves to drop faster. The herds will migrate at the right time for them based on their own internal clock. This is a week of, it may feel like waiting. It may feel like you're in the waiting room, and you may even feel like you're constantly in the waiting room, but you're not in the waiting room. You're exactly where you're meant to be. You're integrating. You're in a period of integration. So allow it to be this week as it is. Doesn't mean you don't take action. Doesn't mean you can't take action. But just be conscious of where you are becoming exhausted by trying to take action. That's a good clue for you. Maybe it's time to let go a little bit. Take a break. Whatever that means for you. Okay, I hope that you find that helpful. I wish everyone much love as always, and I will see you either your private appointment or over here. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Much love to you.